California is one of those unique locations where we get many types of flooding. Our more catastrophic flooding tends to be associated with flooding on the main stem rivers. But we also get catastrophic flooding from short duration heavy rainfall on soils that have been damaged, as in burn scars.
Well, it floods after fires because the fire basically fuses the ground together and it becomes concrete.
Sometimes in a burn condition, you can get double or in some cases quadruple the runoff.
What they're doing is burning off all the vegetation on the hillsides, and the vegetation and the roots of the vegetation are what hold that soil in place. So when it starts raining, and when it rains hard, the energy from that rainfall can start to move those soil particles and move them downhill.
It will take with it whatever that it can. It will take down rocks, boulders, the rocks of almost any size. And what happens is you get what's called a mud and debris flow.
In a post-fire runoff setting, debris flows are very common. They can move as slow as a person can walk or as fast as, say, someone could pedal on a bicycle 20, 25 miles an hour.
An example of a recent area that's the subject to debris flows is the Butte Fire.
Right now we're standing in the middle of the Butte Fire from 2015. On September 9th, 2015, Wednesday afternoon, the fire started in Amador County to the north of us up over this way. For the first 72 hours of that fire is where it burned well over 60,000 acres. We're really concerned about flooding after fire. So out here in the middle of the burn area, we see a lot of straw, and that's in an effort to help reduce the erosion and also maintain that moisture in the soil. So hopefully that seed bed will be able to repopulate and that we can get the additional growth. Some of the preventative measures that the Calaveras County is undertaking to protect life and property is to close off Jesus Maria Road and Hoover Road, the road that we're standing on right now, because this low-lying area along the creek drainage, that floods with almost any storm that we get. During a debris flow, obviously our concern is that it's different than regular water. 3 inches of a debris flow can lift a full-size truck and move it. And so just that little difference between what the water can do and what a debris flow can do could result in life or death.
Whenever there's a large-scale wildland fire, there's always a potential threat for a debris flow. However, you don't just need a fire, you also need a couple other ingredients to create a debris flow, and one of those being a significant amount of rain. On Halloween of 2014, we experienced a really unique thunderstorm.
And on Halloween, what happened is that the homeowner heard something, got up, and he found out that there was water on his floor. He opened up the front door and called his wife. She came out. Mud came rushing through the house, knocked her out the front door along with a big red chair. And so that was the first event. It was largely dead vegetation and mud for the first event.
Following that, on December 11th, and then going into the morning of December 12th, we were tracking a storm which caused a different type of debris flow to occur, a much more significant debris flow, which was mainly comprised of boulders and cobblestones. The debris actually followed this line. So as you can see where we're standing right now, this entire ramp that's behind us is actually the ramp of what the debris flow looked like prior to excavation taking place.
This home had rocks up to the ceiling and on the outside up to the peak of the roof. It was a massive amount.
And you could see the water line and the mud line. And so the rock was actually even above this line, but this is where water and mud permeated to where you see this wet line. So when it comes to debris flows, there's a bunch of different protective measures you can put in place. You can do culverts, you can do K-railing. In bigger picture, you could do debris fences like we have up there with debris basins. You have to test those pieces of infrastructure out or those facilities out before you can say, okay, we're clear and safe now.
And people here have their evacuation kits ready to go. When we have a storm coming, it's in their car, it's ready to go. They have the materials for their pets, and they're ready to leave.
When it comes to flooding, the National Weather Service monitors current conditions and we forecast what the rain is going to do. If there is a threat to life, we will issue flash flood warnings and flood warnings to areas that may be impacted or will be impacted from flooding.
You need to prepare for those things before the floods, because when the floods come, it's too late.
It's very important that residents listen to their local newscast, also listen to the radio stations, and heed any emergency requests for evacuations.
Just pack up, get out ahead of time. It's better to come back and not have needed to leave than to stay too long and then find out that it's too late.